Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where we're mentally exhausted, but we're still here.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are at 12 and a half reasons, not 13.
It's
Yeah.
almost time for food,
Yes, it
and
is.
then it's
I am
almost
so excited.
Christmas.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Christmas time is here.
Jordan! Oh my gosh! Look at you.
Yeah, really excited for Christmas. Really excited. Love me some Christmas.
Love me
Uh,
some Christmas.
love me some Christmas. How was your week, Kelly?
It was all right. It was kind of busy. Only in the fact that a lot of things have been happening in the house and in my room
Mm.
specifically. Yeah. So I finished my closet. I don't know if I mentioned it last episode, but like I finished my building my closet insert thing like on that Sunday.
Mhm.
And then I got another shelving thing. So my whole room has been like moving things out so I can build my closet and then moving everything back in and then taking a bunch of stuff out so that I can build my shelving and then moving it back in. So I'm like designing my room kind of finally. So
Okay.
it's been a lot of moving things around, taking things out, all of that stuff. So yeah, a lot of that. Um, Also, I'm just gonna say one thing. I've been going to the gym a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna say for those people that think y'all can just peacock around the where the mirrors are and walk in front of multiple machines while you're doing it, can you please not? Because
Yeah.
that is that's annoying and and it's it's embarrassing to see because there was one guy at my gym and I was trying to use I don't remember what machine it was, but it was for back because it was back day. And I kid you not, for like a full minute he was walking in front of back and forth in around three or four machines, just like flexing. And like he'd get to the like one end of his like little strut area and like pose, and then he'd turn around and walk, and then
Wait,
he'd like get to the end of his thing and pose.
people actually do that and not just on TikTok?
Yes, he was doing it in real life.
I thought that was just
There was no phone to be found, like recording him or anything. He didn't pick up anything when he was done strutting his stuff. No, he just strut his stuff in the middle of the gym.
I thought that was just like a TikTok thing.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know
Mm-mm.
because I've literally never seen anyone do that at the gym.
Really?
Granted, I have not been to a gym in like almost 3 years at this point,
Mm,
but
okay.
still, have not ever seen
Yeah.
anyone do that.
Like I've seen people kind of like, when they're around like the free weights, they'll do some stuff and then they'll like, kind of just like pose for like a second and then they'll like keep going. No, this man committed.
I've never seen any of that. Maybe I just don't pay attention when I go to the gym and I'm just like
Maybe
in my
not.
own
Maybe
head.
not. Yeah. Yeah. Cause when I have like my little like 30-second to like a minute break in between like my sets, like I'll look around and like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, well, like I love that girl's outfit, or like wow, that exercise looks like it'll kick my ass later. And then sometimes I see the people that are posing for themselves and I'm like, oh, are you not embarrassed? Like, what is going on? So, if you're one of those gym people, can you love the confidence for you, but maybe do it at home?
Oh,
Thank
I've
you.
just learned that I need to be more spatially aware when I'm in the gym because I literally do not notice people at all. I just look for the machine I want to use
Yep. Do
and
your
then
thing and go home.
go home, try to get out as fast as humanly possible.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm here solely for health reasons, nothing else. Not here to
Yeah.
make friends, not
Mm-mm.
here to listen to music. The music's usually bad anyway.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
I'm here to work out and then leave.
Yeah. And I have lost my AirPods. Well, I have them now, but I lost them and I didn't have them for 2 days at the gym. And let me tell you,
I'm
my
so sorry.
gym I know it varies wildly. Like one day they played Disney Channel original movie soundtracks. Like the
Love
one
that.
time that like I like paused my music for a second, like I heard it. I'm like, is that Demi Lovato? Is that Camp Rock? So like there's those days where it's really good, and then the 2 days that I didn't have my AirPods, it was just straight up slow country songs, and I'm like, I want to bang my head against the wall.
Oh, I would have left. I honestly would have left. I
It was
always
so
look for a
bad.
reason not to work out. So that would have been a reason for me. I would have been like, "Oh, I can't. I'm
I
sorry."
know. And I always start my time at the gym on the treadmill. I just get like a mile in, and let me tell you, I already hate the treadmill because you're moving but you're not going anywhere. But
Hmm.
add country music on top of that, and I kept looking down at the timer every like minute, and I'm like, oh God, I've got so much more time to be here on this freaking treadmill. It was awful. But
Oh, I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
thanks. That's me. How was your
Um,
week, my friend?
my week was pretty boring, except for the fact that my mother's one step closer to being put in a nursing home. Just w- one very large step closer. And you want to know why? I walked into her room and I was like, "Mom, none of my pants fit anymore because my thighs have gotten exponentially bigger since I've started like regularly cycling again."
Yeah.
Um, and so she was like, "Oh, are you getting fat?" I was like, "No, no, no, Mom, I'm not." But thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks. Great.
Thanks. Yeah.
Do I look fatter? Is
Right?
that
Are you telling me something? Like I
right?
thought I was slimming down, except for
Right.
these honks I
Right.
have on my legs.
Except for these thunder thighs that I currently
Yeah,
have. Like, what?
it's okay, okay, yeah. So
All
yes, she may have booked herself a one-way ticket to retirement land,
right. I
but it's
love
fine.
that.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine. You're
fine.
okay.
Maybe she'll make up for herself this Christmas. We'll see. We'll see.
You never know.
You never know. Um, but yeah, work has been boring, like so
Yeah.
boring. Except for Friday. A little spicy happened on
Ooh, what
Friday.
happened on Friday?
I swear I told you.
Did you?
What happened on Friday?
Was it the one
Um,
with the? No, you just tell me, and I'll say if I've heard it.
so one of my coworkers, he got asked to like go on a call with this one guy who works with one of the projects that we do.
Oh, and then yes, you did tell me.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
And then so he tried to like sit there and blame us for stuff that was his fault.
Uh,
And my coworker just sat there and took it. Like he like kind of like shut down. I don't think he does well with confrontation because he like just completely shut down. If it were me
uh,
on that call, I'm not even a confrontational person. But if it were me on that call and he was sitting there trying to blame me for his mistakes,
mm-mm,
wouldn't have happened. Sorry.
mm-mm,
He
yeah.
would I would have threw everything he said right back into my face. Right back into his face.
Yep.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Why didn't this get done?" I'd be like, "Cause you didn't do this." It's not my job to make you do your job,
Yep. Jordan's like, wait a minute, you want receipts?
right?
I'll bring that up right now.
You want me to show you the Google Doc that you were supposed to put this information on that you didn't? Uh,
Mm.
r- 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 r-
Oh, what is this empty space I'm seeing here?
right? What's this empty space? Who was supposed to fill this out?
Let's talk about that.
It wasn't me because I'm not privy to this information. So one of us fucked up, and it wasn't me.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
Ask it.
I remember
Ask
you talking about
anybody.
that.
Ask anybody. I don't fuck up. So
No, no. He was embarrassed he got caught, and he was just trying to pull everybody down with him.
yep, he was
Make
just
it seem like
trying
it
to.
wasn't him.
Yep, he was trying to take down anybody he could with him. It wouldn't have been me, but my coworker. I've seen now that he does not have a backbone. So Mm,
Mm,
mm.
mm.
But yeah. Other
Thank
than
God it
that, it was
wasn't
a
you.
other than that, it was a boring week. I just watched movies. I did a minuscule amount of work as usual. It was great. It was great. And now next week I have a 2-day work week. I'm gonna
Oh,
go in.
yes.
I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna try to leave early on Tuesday, and then 5-day weekend. Yay! Thank you, Thanksgiving.
Woo! Thank you,
Saving my mentally,
Thanksgiving.
saving my mental health, saving my mental health. Because really, last week I was on the verge of just like one day just closing my laptop and just walking out, and don't even know where I would have
Oh.
gone. Just leaving.
You just would have left and not come
I
back.
Nope. They'd have been like, "Where's Jordan?" Then
Where has he gone?
they would have called my mom, who I believe is my emergency contact. I literally don't remember who I made my emergency. It's probably my mom, and my mom would have been like, "I don't know. I haven't seen him."
Yeah. Who are you asking for?
Who are you asking
Have,
for?
oh no, yeah, I've heard of him. Where is he? I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Could not tell you.
But yeah, that's all I have. So, Kelly,
Yes.
are you ready to talk about soul food?
I am so ready.
Such a messy movie.
We love it.
We love it. So this is our Thanksgiving fare for you.
Yes, it is.
The closest thing to a Thanksgiving movie I could come up with. That
Right.
wasn't it.
There aren't a lot of them.
There was one I found, but it was literally like a horror comedy movie.
Horror comedy?
Yes, with like what's that woman's name? Tiffany Haddish
Oh,
and some other guy. I was like, I don't want to watch that.
yeah.
So I watched Soul Food because this is the movie we usually watch on Thanksgiving. So
Why not?
our movie starts off with Bop Number One, a song for
Yep.
Mama.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we see childhood photos of the Joseph family that include Terry, Maxine, Bird. I can't remember her actual name, but they call her Bird
Yeah.
because she's skinny.
Yeah.
Miles, Faith, and Big Mama, their
Big
mother.
Mama. Yeah.
We then cut to Bird's wedding to her now husband Lim, while an annoyed Terry dances with her husband Miles, and a pregnant
They
Maxine dances
they
with her
hate each
kids
other.
and her husband. Yes, Kenny. Our narrator Ahmad, Maxine's son,
Mhm.
tells us all the family tea. No
I
one
love
likes
him.
Lim.
I
no,
know.
no one likes Lim because he's a scrub.
Mhm.
Uh, Terry and Miles are like rich lawyers, but they don't seem to really like each other that much.
No.
Um, Big Mama is like a saint.
Oh yeah.
Terry and Maxine don't like each other, like Kelly said earlier.
Yeah, nope.
And then Bird's ex Samuel, is that how they were pronouncing it? That sounds like how they were pronouncing it to me.
Yeah, I
I
couldn't really
always
tell.
I always thought it was Samuel, but then like I had to write notes and they were like Samuel.
Yeah. And you're like, "Wait a minute.
Hold, so
Hold up."
I wrote down Samuel. It's even spelled like Samuel, so we're gonna say
Oh,
Samuel.
okay.
He shows up to the reception and in front of everyone puts money in Bird's bra.
Why? Why?
Look, if there's anything you gonna learn, it's that men are messier than women.
They
Men
are.
will always be messier than women.
Yes. Yes.
Because he didn't even try to like hide the fact that he was putting his
No.
hands down her bra. He openly did it in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
Mhm. Men will be messy out in public.
Yes.
Women will be messy privately, and if you see
Privately,
it
behind the
outside,
scene.
it's just this much. You're
Yeah.
only seeing this much of it.
Men are a mess. And
Oh
so
yeah.
later Bird gets ready to like throw down because Lim is drunk, bumping and grinding with his ex at his wedding.
Who's a hoochie coochie mama?
But Big
I
Mama
love that
saves the
scene.
day by like I guess pushing that woman out and she starts dancing with Lim.
I still would have been upset though.
I still would have been very upset.
Like,
Like,
thank you, Big Mama, for stepping in, but
well,
mm,
a conversation needs to be had.
yes, we saw
We
what
got
happened before this.
we got married 5 minutes ago. Like,
Right,
what's going on here?
5 minutes ago.
And so, also we have Teri remind Maxine that she paid for the wedding,
Oh
and
my gosh.
Maxine's like, "Shut up, no one
Yeah,
cares."
yeah, no. She's like, well, I'm the one that paid for. She's like, no, stop right there.
Right there, we're not doing this today.
Why do you keep doing this?
Ahmad then tells the viewers about how the family is always there for each other because they have Sunday dinners where they eat food and like smack talk about other people, sometimes each other. Um, and we also learned that Big Mama's husband used to own a lot of businesses, and it's rumored that Big Mama has a lot of money stashed away somewhere.
Hmm.
We also are introduced to Big Mama's brother, Uncle Pete, who is a recluse that never leaves his room.
Nope.
Never. Like the kids have never
No.
seen it. No one's ever seen
Yeah,
this
no,
man.
yeah. Like, we're not exaggerating here. He lives in that room.
The kids tried to like sneak to see him and he outsmarted them.
He's all like, y'all trying to play me today.
He's like, not today.
Not
He's like, I
today.
don't want to see y'all.
And you
And
don't want to see
so,
me.
and honestly, that is my grandpa. But my grandpa will leave his room.
Okay.
But he will go back to his room. Like he will not stay out for long.
He's like, I'm
Like
just here to check things out and I'll go back in.
he'll come out for food. He'll talk a little bit while he's out, but then he will go back to his room.
You know what? Fair and understandable.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
And so, one day while everyone is over at the house, the girls are cooking, and Bird goes off with Lim.
Mm.
So Teri starts complaining about how she lent Bird money to open up her new hair shop, and Maxine says it's just money. But Terry's like, "No, everyone treats me like an ATM," which fair,
Yeah, true.
fair, true, true.
But also, a homegirl, you can say no.
You could say no. No is a full
Like,
sentence.
yeah, like I
Like
understand that people, you have money, but you keep giving it,
you
my
keep
girl.
giving it.
So you can say
Like,
no.
yeah, you could say no. And so while cooking, Big Mama burns her arm but doesn't feel it because she has diabetes. And then she like refuses to go to the hospital.
Yeah,
Like it
like
could be like
girl.
a third-degree burn and she wouldn't know
Hmm.
because she didn't get it checked and she can't feel anything. Don't do that.
Yeah, if
Don't do
you're
that.
hurt, get medical attention.
Give
You
medical
know.
attention. They then go on to eat the most delicious looking meal, but undiabetes friendly meal I've ever seen in
Yes,
my entire
yes,
life.
dude. When they do the table shot, I'm like, food.
Oh
I
no,
want it.
my favorite is at the end of the movie.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. You're right.
Uh,
You're
and
right.
so while they're eating, Maxine and Terry get into another fight, and we get a flashback that shows that Kenny used to be Terry's man, but Maxine stole him.
Yes. Yes.
Terry did not beat Maxine's ass enough for my
No,
liking.
no, she didn't. She did not.
If I walked up to my partner's car and saw my
Mm-hmm.
sister sleeping with them, the amount of hair that would have been yanked off of her head,
Yeah.
the amount of bruises that would have been on her face, like that in that instance, you do beat up the girl. You
Yes. Yeah. That's not
yeah.
your sister anymore.
Yeah, that's not your sister
That moment,
anymore.
that is not your sister. Okay, it's some girl sleeping with your boyfriend. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kenny then asks Lem why he got put in prison, and he says that he was selling drugs. And Big Mama's like, "Yeah, that don't matter. Like, you know what? Like, your past doesn't matter. Only your future." And I'm like, mm, mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm, okay, Big Mama.
Sure.
Okay, okay, Big Mama. Um,
Love your optimism.
and just as she's talking about this, cousin Faith comes into the house. Apparently, she's like big trouble. and no
Yeah.
one in the family likes her.
Mm-mm.
And so, while Faith is saying hello to everyone, Maxine goes into labor and gives birth.
Yes.
While they're at the hospital, Big Mama gets checked out by doctors,
Finally.
because she burnt her arm and was
Yes.
just gonna ignore it.
She's like, oh,
And
we're going to the hospital. Might as well get this checked out since I'm here.
yeah, and we find out that I don't know which leg, one of her legs does not have good blood circulation, and so it needs to be amputated, and she flat out refuses.
Yeah. She's like, oh no, it's cool.
She's like, no, you're not gonna cut off my useless leg.
Like, bro.
My leg that's gonna turn gangrene
Mm-hmm.
soon because there's no blood
Right.
circulation. No, you can't cut it off.
Yeah, she's like,
And
I'm cool.
insane, like denial, like the amount of denial that's happening right now is insane.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
girl.
ma'am, that leg doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. And since it's not working, it's gonna actually kill you if we don't.
It's going to kill you. Like, there are blood clots forming in that leg as we speak.
Yes. This is not
Insanity.
an if.
It is a
It's a
win.
yes.
And so we cut to Bird's shop, and Samuel comes in, and he starts spitting his corny ass game, like corny, corny.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why are you even with Lamb? You know he ain't got money. He can't buy you flashy things and blah 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 blah." And then he gives Bird a what was it, a necklace
Yes.
before leaving.
Yeah.
Later, Maxine and Kenny are at home, and he plays Bop Number Two, Slow Jam, and the
Love
two
it.
of them dance because he truly loves that woman. Like
Yes.
out of all the men in this movie, he is the only one who truly loves his
Yes.
woman. I mean, he went on to cheat on her sister to be with her. Like, he loves this
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, he really does.
And so Lim comes over and he tells Kenny that he was fired from his job for lying on his job application about being a felon. And
Mm,
he asks if he can help him get another job because Bird likes the finer things in life,
as she should.
as she should. Wish she liked better men, but not much I can do there.
Yeah.
Kenny then gives him some money and tells him not to tell her until he gets a new job. Bad
Yeah.
advice.
Bad advice.
Bad,
Don't.
bad advice.
Don't
Don't lie to
ever.
your wife.
No. No.
At Teri's house, she's watching a mod when Faith comes over to stay with Teri and Miles. Miles also tells Teri that he took out $5,000 to record a demo of his band, and they get into a fight because she thinks it's foolish. Teri was only half wrong in that argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
and
like,
as a musician, that kind of hurts me.
yeah,
I was like, hmm,
like, don't squash your husband's hopes and dreams,
yeah,
but also, Miles, don't take out $5,000
right,
without telling your
right,
wife.
right. Like, there are two wrongs here, but the way y'all handled this,
Yeah,
not good.
not good. And so later, Big Mama finally gets her amputation done, but she
Big
probably
Mama.
waited too late because she ends up
She,
in a coma after having
yes,
a stroke.
Big Mama,
Big Mama,
please.
please. um, all of this could have been saved if you had stopped eating Sunday dinners, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about that later because I have a whole rant about that. Um, Sometime later, Lim is looking for a new job, but it's not going well because of his criminal record. And
Hmm.
one day, Lim takes Ahmad home and tells him that he lost his job. Why is he burdening this child with this information? Who knows?
Dude, this child is literally the psychologist of the
This,
family.
yes, he is a therapist for this entire family, and he's
Yes.
like 10 years old.
Yeah. He
And
knows all
so
the tea and he's
he knows,
burdened with knowledge.
yes, he knows everybody's business. This child.
Yeah,
And then it
y'all need to
gets
stop
worse
talking
as the
to
it gets
kids.
worse as the movie progresses. Like
It
it gets
does.
worse.
Y'all
And
should be
so
paying for his therapy later.
yes, he's
That's all
gonna
I'm
need
saying,
therapy later. And so Ahmad gives him advice that
bro.
Big Mama always said to just love yourself. That's not really good advice, but he takes it
Yeah, it's
because
not bad
Ahmad
advice,
it's not
but
bad advice.
but for the situation,
But that's why
it
you don't burden children with your problems
yes,
because then they try to look for solutions and they don't have solutions
right,
because they're children.
right. They'll give you children answers,
They'll
okay?
give you children answers. Exactly. Look, go to Kelly for advice before you go to Ahmad for
Yes,
advice.
please, please.
And so one day in the hospital, Maxine and Terry get into a fight about whether or not they should have Sunday dinner. And Bird says that they should take a vote. And so the vote goes in Maxine's favor, and everyone votes to have Sunday dinner. And so Terry and Maxine get into a screaming match, and they all get kicked out of the hospital. And so that Sunday, Bird, who cannot cook, cooks Sunday
No.
dinner, and no one
Mm,
other than her and Lim and the Reverend show up. Oh yeah, there's
mm.
a Reverend who shows up for Sunday
Yes.
dinner, and he's
Yeah.
creepy and inappropriate, and all he does is eat their food.
Hmm. That man
Yeah,
does not contribute.
he does not
He just
contribute.
shows up.
He just shows up, sexually harasses the women, and then leaves until next Sunday. Yikes!
Why do y'all keep inviting him back?
I have no idea. And so Uncle Pete is given his plate, and he refuses to eat the food. He throws it back outside the door.
He's like, I am not playing with that.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh no, this chicken is burnt.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
touching this."
Mm-mm.
And so one day, Ahmad goes to the hospital to visit Big Mama, and he talks to her and tells her about everything that's happening. And he leaves hopeful that one day she will wake up.
Mm.
We cut to Terry, and she tells Kenny that she can't go see him. Kenny? Yes,
Kenny.
it's Miles.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. It's not
Yes.
Kenny. Yeah, there's so
I'm
many
like, wait a
names.
minute.
I'm so
There
sorry.
is a lot of
There's
names.
so many people in this movie. We cut to Terry, and she
Yes.
tells Miles that she can't go see him perform, and he tells her that he wants to pursue music full time.
Hmm.
This man is a lawyer. He wants to quit his
Yeah.
lawyer job so he can pursue
Be a
music full time.
musician. Yeah.
Like
Ah.
he doesn't have a record deal. He doesn't have
Uh-uh.
anything. He just does his little side gigs with his band.
Yeah. Like I would.
Granted, the band is good. The band
Yeah,
is
they are
very
good.
good. Granted, but I would have waited until I like signed a deal before
Yeah. Yeah. I would
went
have
and quit
at
my job.
least recorded like maybe like an EP on the side, see how
Yeah.
that would have went and kept my day
hmm
job.
Kept my day
I'm
job.
sorry. Yeah.
But I like a safety net. But
Same.
not everyone does. Some
Yeah.
people like to go by faith. To each their own.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Terry's like, what the fuck is this man talking about? And then
Oh.
before they could even get into a fight, Faith comes out and she and Terry talk. And all Terry does is complain about how much trouble Faith is, and Faith is like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa."
So where's this coming from, please?
Yeah, and then uh, Terry tells Faith, "You better not start anything," and that's the end of that scene.
Mm.
We then cut to I put Kenny again. Miles's concert, and
Sorry, Miles.
we get Bop number 3. I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
And Faith comes to the performance. After the performance, she tells Kenny that his band is good, which they are.
Kenny?
Fuck me, Miles. I wonder how much more that's gonna happen.
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
Okay.
and she tells Miles that he should pursue his passion, and then they both bond over being um artists because he's like a piano player slash writer, and
Yeah, composer. Yeah.
she's just now becoming an aspiring dancer.
Hmm.
Like she hasn't been a dancer. She has just now
No,
decided she
yeah,
wants to be a
yeah,
dancer.
yeah. She's done nothing,
She's
but
done
she's
nothing before.
decided.
Yeah.
I love how they're bonding over that.
She's like 30 years old and she's like, I want to start dancing.
Yeah. Like pursue your passions, queen, but like you're starting to bond with somebody whose music is their life now.
Yeah.
And
Who
you've just decided to become a dancer. Like what?
someone who's actually been practicing their art for a while and you're
Right.
just now starting and you're like,
Right.
We're
I understand
simpatico.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You don't. And so we cut back to Teri and we cut to Teri. It's this is Bird. Fuck me. Uh we cut to Bird and she comes home in the middle of the day and sees Lim and she's like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And he finally has to tell her that he got fired and then they get into a fight because he lied to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, let me help you get a job." And he's like, "No. I don't want slash need your help." And let
Stupid.
me just tell you, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. If you've
It
never seen
gets
this
worse.
movie, this story is gonna get worse for them.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
gets a
it
lot
is.
worse. And so later, Miles is driving when he sees. Oh, I did it right.
You did it right.
When he sees Faith arguing with someone, and then she begs Miles to play piano for her at an audition, which that's not how auditions work.
No,
At
that
least
is
not
not how
dance
it is.
auditions. Uh, uh, and he's like, okay, fine. And so he goes in and he plays "I Ain't Mad at Ya" by Tupac. And he gets
What an
very
audition.
what an audition.
What
She's
an
doing
audition.
she's doing like a mix of like ballet and like contemporary dance. And he's playing
Hmm.
"I Ain't Mad at Ya" by Tupac.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a ballad version of "I Ain't Mad at You" by Tupac.
I would love to be one of those people in the audition room, just like like watching him being like, "This is beautiful." Wait, is that Tupac?
Wait, is that Tupac?
I think that like that would be the only thing that would stick out in my mind from that audition. I would have been like, "She danced to Tupac."
Right. And then when they're like picking like the people, they're like, "Hey, this is the Tupac girl."
That's the
Tupac
Tupac girl.
girl. She was okay. Let's move her to the next round.
I want to see what her next song choice is.
Yeah. Her next song is gonna be Body by Megan Thee Stallion. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Body by Megan Thee Stallion. Or the
Yada
Jump
yada yada
Off
yada yada. Yes, yes.
by
Oh
Lil
my
Kim.
gosh. Yes.
Want Some More by Nicki Minaj. You know, maybe just spice it up. And so I guess it goes well for her. We never really find
Yeah.
out.
No.
We then cut to Bird, and she calls Samuel. And when he comes over to the shop, she asks him for a favor. And Ahmad comes in as like she's like whispering into his ear. It don't look good. It
It
don't
don't
look
look
good.
good.
And so that night, Lim comes home and tells her that he got a job, and Bird like
Yay.
seduces him. The
Mm.
fact that he wasn't a little bit skeptical of what was happening,
Right.
because like the day he happened to get a job, he comes in and she has rose petals and candles lit everywhere and is seducing
Mm-hmm.
him.
Mm.
Mm,
This man did not put two and two together.
no, he didn't. It took
No.
him a very long time.
Yes.
He gets there though. He gets there.
Yeah, he gets there.
And so sometime later, Lem starts his job and he's doing a good job and getting good acknowledgement from his boss. when Samuel comes in one day and tells him that he helped Bird get him this job. And he's also
Yeah.
making crude jokes about Bird.
Mm-mm.
And so Lem attacks him and gets fired, of course.
Of
And then
course.
Lem then goes down to Bird's shop and starts fucking shit, like immediately he starts fucking shit
Yeah.
up. Like he
Yeah.
breaks the glass on the front door as soon as he gets there.
He
He
came in
he
wanting destruction.
Yeah, he pulled her into the back. He was like, "We need to talk real quick. We need to
Mm-hmm.
talk real quick." Um, yeah, and then he accuses Bird of sleeping with Samuel, but she swears that she only agreed to go to dinner with him, which
Mm. Mm.
mm.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
And then Lem was getting a little bit too close to Bird. Just a little bit too close.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit too close, making too much thumping noises. And
Yeah.
so he leaves and everybody is like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
Because
Well,
Bird
yeah.
refuses to talk to anybody, and she's
Yeah.
crying hysterically, and they heard
Bro.
thumping, and there's stuff thrown all
God
about.
knows. Right.
And so Teri thinks that Lem hit Bird, and so she calls one of her hood cousins, cousin Blimp, to teach Lem a lesson.
Yep.
And so they catch up with Lem at a bar, and they try to like step to him, but he pulls out a gun. And so the cops get called and he gets taken to
Yep.
jail
Yep. Yep.
as Bird, Teri, and Ahmad, because Ahmad is always there,
Yes. Yes.
arrive and see him get taken away to jail.
Oh my goodness.
A mess. A mess.
It's so messy.
It's so messy. Like I thought my family could be messy. This is messy.
Yes. Yes. This is a
Like
different level of messy.
I've had two family members get the cops called on them, and it's never been this bad. It's never been this bad. And so one night, Faith and Miles are home alone, and one thing leads to another, and they have raw sex with each other. Like, whoa,
Ah!
that's the part that really got me.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yes. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a
Wait
minute.
a minute. And so Teri comes home with Ahmad and sees them having sex and takes
No.
Ahmad and leaves.
Yeah.
How Ahmad didn't see is by the grace of God, because if
Honestly.
all he would have had to do is turn his head like
Yes.
40 degrees and he would have
Yes.
seen them fucking against the wall.
Ah. God was like, you know too much, but you don't need to know this.
You don't need to know this.
You don't need
And
to know this.
and this is honestly just another example of Teri being too nice,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
would have cut his pasty yellow ass,
Mm-mm.
because yet again they were not even using a condom. Like
No.
he would have had to die.
Yeah. At that point,
because
there's no
because
redemption.
because I don't know how long this has been going on.
Right.
Like
You just
now,
see it once and you're like, wait a minute.
wait a minute.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
because you assume you watch two
Yeah.
people having sex, you're like, this can't be the first time.
Right. This has been done before.
Like this, like you're openly doing this. Like this had to have been done
Right.
before.
Right. Mm-mm.
Oh no! See,
Nah.
the Lord knows not to test me like that. The Lord knows not to test
Honestly.
me like that. And so
Honestly.
Terry and Ahmad go to Maxine's house where they're having an anniversary party for Maxine
Mm.
and Kenny.
Yeah.
We didn't get bop number 4. What about us? Thank you, total. While
Yeah.
everyone is partying. And so Terry watches Maxine and Kenny dance when Miles walks in, and so she angrily just goes into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny goes into the kitchen and sees Terry crying, and then she hugs him and she's like, I wanted you to be with me. And then he's just like, oh,
Oh.
and then Miles, Bird, and Maxine come into the kitchen, so they pretend like nothing was happening.
Mhm.
And so Maxine brings up Big Mama's hospital bills, and Maxine wants Terry to pay for them.
Because
And she-
Moneybags Terry is here.
well, and she's like, "We'll pay you back somehow." And I'm like, "Y'all already owe her a shit ton of money. What do you mean you'll pay her
Yeah.
back?"
Yeah, what are you talking about? She paid for a wedding already. And God
Right?
knows what else.
Like Maxine, you don't even have a job. Like, how are you
Right.
gonna pay me back? Like, a mess.
Right.
And
Like, why
so,
are you in this conversation?
Right, like money people are talking. Shut up.
Right.
And so Terry's like, no. But she's like, what we should do? We should just sell this house.
Yeah.
She's like, this house is too big. Um, None of y'all pay for anything in this house. I pay for everything in this house. Like, we should just sell this house.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, 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 no. What about family? What about family? And then we get the most iconic moment in this movie. I will say it verbatim.
Yes.
Terry says, no, fuck the family. She said, I let the family into my house, and what did the family do? The family fucked my husband. They fucked my
Yes.
husband.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it gets real quiet after that.
Yes, it does,
It
doesn't
gets it gets
it?
real quiet, and then Miles has to open his big ass mouth. And so Terry has had enough at this point. She
Yeah.
finally catches up to the Jordan level of anger she should have been at from the beginning.
Yes.
And she
Yes.
chases his dumb ass through the house with a kitchen knife.
As she should.
And then Faith is like, "What's going on?" And then she starts going after Faith. But she was yet again too nice because she didn't even slap Faith. Like, I would have slapped her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have slapped at least 2 layers of skin off of her face.
Yeah. There would have been a fight.
There would
Yeah.
have been a fight.
Someone would have been gone. Someone would have gone down, and it
Yeah.
wasn't gonna be
It
me.
wasn't gonna be me. And so I think it's Kenny is able to like calm her down and like gets the knife out of her
Yeah.
hand, and then
Yes.
she just starts like uncontrollably sobbing.
Hmm.
And so we cut to one day, Ahmad is sitting with Big Mama at the hospital, and she wakes up and immediately knows that the family's a mess, probably because she created the mess. But
Mm.
she just kept letting fights go over without anything being resolved. She was having
Yeah.
one of her children pay for everything in everybody's life. She
Mm-hmm.
seemed to just completely forget about Bird. Like, just
Yeah.
let Bird go off and do whatever the fuck she wanted to do.
Yeah. Bird lives her own life.
Bird lives her own
Nobody.
life.
Nobody checks in.
I feel like every one of these fights can be rooted back to Big Mama.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
every like this
Yeah.
is
She kept the
all
family together because she didn't let y'all deal with anything.
yeah. She
No.
That's why when she woke up, she immediately knew things were going to shit because she knew she had created some bad mess.
She saw like in that coma like don't wake me up, don't wake me up, don't
Don't
wake
wake
me
me
up.
up. Don't wake me up. Don't wake me
Don't
up.
wake me up. I can sense it. There's something wrong going on out
She
there.
opens her eyes, sees Ahmad. She's like, "Hey, baby." Oh shit.
And then it's the thing that adults do to Ahmad. Ahmad, don't tell anybody I woke up, okay?
Don't tell anybody I woke up. I'm just gonna go right back to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I'm
Don't
awake.
tell anybody. And so, yeah, she wakes up and she tells Ahmad to do something, but then goes into a coughing fit and he gets kicked out of the room, and then she later
Yeah.
dies. She's like, I
Yeah.
need you to do something for me, and then immediately it's like, girl, don't ever do that shit to me.
Yeah, don't. That would be traumatizing.
And so we then have the, stereotypical cloudy day funeral with a woman
Yes.
singing His Eyes on the Sparrow. Um, One day, Maxine stops by the big house and sees a for sale sign online on the lawn, is very upset. And so she
Yeah.
walks to the house, and Uncle Pete is sitting at the dining room table, probably starving, because who's been feeding this man?
Yes. At this point, is anybody like it's like a pet that you forget? It's like, has anybody checked on him?
Right?
Does he
Has
have food
anybody
and
been
water?
checking on him? Has he
I
has
left
he
him in
gone,
your care.
has he been going to the bathroom? Has he been cleaning
Right.
himself? It turns out Uncle
Right.
Pete has dementia. Alzheimer's or something. We're never like explicitly told.
Yeah.
And this poor man has been left in this house by himself for God knows how long.
Yeah.
I'm
That makes it
call
so much
I'm
worse.
This is elder abuse. What the fuck is
It
going on
is.
here?
There should have been a wellness check or something.
Yeah. And so Maxine is like, "Oh, hi, Uncle Pete." Like, never seen this man before.
He's
And
like, who's
then
this man in the house?
he thinks that Maxine is Big Mama. And she's like, "No, no, no, I'm Maxine. Big Mama died." And then he, of course, cannot comprehend this stuff, and so he
Yeah.
just continues to think that she's Big Mama. She's like, "Okay, I'll take care of you. Let's get you back to your room." Like, yeah, now they remember him.
Yeah.
And so one day, Maxine, Teri, and Bird go to lunch together, and Maxine tells Teri that she got a cease and desist on the sale of the house. And Teri's like, okay, and just leaves. She's like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. She's
He's
like,
like,
you
I've
know
had
what?
enough.
Yeah. She's like, do what you want. And so Bird goes into the bathroom, and when she gets out, she tells Maxine that she's pregnant. And Maxine tells Bird that
Mm.
she needs to let Lem have his dignity. She shouldn't have helped him get a job because men don't like that.
Mm. Mm.
Look, I don't like the way she got him that job
Yeah.
at all.
At all.
But don't tell your sister that she shouldn't help her husband get a like. That's ridiculous.
Right. Right. Like, you can help him, just not in the way you tried to
Not
help
not
him.
the way you tried to help him.
You know what I'm saying?
And so sometime later, um, Teri calls in a favor to help Lem, and Ahmad talks to his mom about having a victory dinner for a basketball game he won on Sunday at Big Mama's house. And she immediately sees what he's doing. Like immediately, she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing. I just want to have dinner at Big
Yeah.
Mama's house." See,
Right.
kids, children,
Yes.
whatever. And so, um, Ahmad starts like hanging out with everyone individually and telling them that Big Mama told him about her money before she died, and that he'll split it with them. He just needs their help to. I don't even know what he needed their help for.
Yeah.
Managing it, like it didn't make any sense.
It did not make any sense. This is coming from a child, by
A
the way.
child. Like I think that's just the moral of the story. Like a child, like really.
Yeah. Yes.
And so everyone like comes over to like Big Mama's house that
Mm.
Sunday, and Ahmad's like, "Yeah, there's no money, but we're cooking." And so all the women go into the kitchen and cook. Kenny was originally cooking, but they kicked him out of the kitchen because he's a man, and men can't
Yeah,
cook.
of course not. Excuse me. Of course not.
Miles comes in. They tell him to go sit at the table, even though he was like, what is wrong with this family? They just keep letting these men
Yeah.
stay in the family who are fucking each other or their relatives. Like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
What's going on? This family's a mess.
A complete mess. And so, oh,
Ooh.
and then so Lim also comes in, and he tells Ahmad that he wants to tell him that he did not hit Bird. Like, no matter what happens, he wants him to know that he did not hit Bird. He only pushed her, and
That's not better, man.
that's barely better. Like
Yeah.
that's barely better. And
Stop
then
putting
Lemon,
putting your hands on people.
yeah. How about we don't touch our wives at all? And
Yeah.
so Lemon Bird like forgive each other like
Mm.
immediately. Faith comes over and she tries to immediately leave, but Ahmad talks her into staying. And then
Ahmad,
while everyone
please.
is eating, no one talks to one another
Nope.
until what the fuck? Until
Yeah, what's going on?
No one talks to each other until Lim. You know what? How about I just unplug your ass? How about
Okay.
that? How about
Okay.
that? Yeah, no one talks to each other until Lim says that he got his job back because he
Yay.
was such a good worker. They looked past the fact that he attacked another coworker.
Oh, they must have been desperate.
And then everybody's like, "How did you even get out of jail?" And Terry's like, "Oh, I called in a favor." And this causes another fight. Because Lim's like, "I was
Yeah.
only in jail because you called the cops on me." And she's like, "Well, I thought you hit my sister,
Right,
so."
so I'm in the right still.
That's actually not my fault. That's actually your wife's
Yeah.
fault because we kept asking her what happened and she refused to say anything.
Right.
So
So
look inward. Um, and so this caused another fight, and then like Faith is about to leave, but Maxine tells her to stay, which like that's not your place.
it's not.
Um, and so Terry and Miles finally start talking about their relationship, and he says that they don't have fun anymore, and he's about to leave when he brings up like the money that he was promised from Ahmed. Um,
No.
and his parents are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "What money?" And then this like distraught Ahmed is like, "There is no money." Like just starts like weeping because like all of this trauma is placed on this
Yes.
child, and he
I
feels
felt
like he
so
has to
bad.
fix this family,
He's
and so
10.
it's not working, and so he's just frustrated. He starts crying, he starts admitting that there's no money, and that all he wanted was for
Mhm.
everybody to come back together and blah 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 blah. And so while this is happening, he had left a dish rag on the stove, and this causes a fire that almost burns down the house.
Yeah.
And then it also got worse because these men kept throwing water on a grease fire.
You don't put water on a grease fire, y'all. You're supposed to suffocate it.
Suffocated, or you get like
Flour.
flour or
Yeah.
a fire extinguisher. Like, you don't use water.
You
Come
don't
on,
use
y'all.
water.
Maybe the men should have been in the kitchen so they would have known that.
Ugh.
And so, yeah, only Terry comes up with the genius idea to use the fire extinguishers, and they get the fire out. Uncle Pete then comes running in with a
Oh.
TV in his hands, and this scares all of the men in the house because they don't know what Uncle Pete looks like. And so they start like attacking him, and so he drops the TV, and it's full of money. I'm not even going to go into how that works.
No.
But yeah, and so Ter Maxine,
Yes.
like, is like, "Hey, everybody, this is Uncle Pete," and they're like, "Okay." And then Ahmad notices all the money on the floor, and then now being flown around the kitchen because they turned on fans to air out the
Mhm.
kitchen,
Mhm.
and this somehow repairs the family.
Yeah.
This repairs the family somehow, and so sometime later, we're never given a
You're never told.
explicit amount of time. Miles and Terry break up, thank God,
Thank
but
God.
they're still cordial. Apparently, Bird
Yeah.
and Lem have moved out. They have their own place. He has a job. She has her shop. Happy, happy.
Happy,
Um,
happy.
Faith stays with the family somehow. Don't know how they worked that
Mm.
out. Don't know how they worked that. Probably the same way they worked out the Terry and Maxine situation. And Maxine and Terry are finally friendly towards each other. And then we end
Yay.
the movie with the same song we began with, a song from Mama.
Mama.
Mama. Okay, Kelly. Are you ready for the movie facts?
I am ready for the movie fest.
Okay, so there is a show that is kind of a sequel, kind of not a sequel to this
I
movie,
did see that. I did see
which
that.
which aired for 5 seasons on, I believe, Stars or Showtime, one of those two, from
Mm,
2000 to 2004.
I did
My
see
mom,
that.
my mom used to watch this show.
You know
I
what?
don't.
I did watch the first episode after I watched the movie.
You did. How was it?
I did.
I don't remember the show at all. I just remember it gave us
Um,
three very iconic black actors.
it was the first. I don't know, man. It was what's her name having her baby, and then her baby was sick.
But she had already had her baby.
No, 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 not her.
Not
Shoot.
Maxine? Oh, you mean Bird.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Here, let
Interesting.
me. Yeah, and like her baby got sick, and like they didn't know what was going on, like why he was sick and all that jazz. Yeah, it was like a
Okay.
50-minute episode, dude.
Okay.
I committed.
We committed.
Yes, I did.
Maybe I'll watch it later. Unless it's on Showtime, then I will not be watching it because I don't have Showtime.
Yeah.
Um, movie fact number two. The
Hmm.
movie was rehearsed for a week, shot in 36 days, um, and was in post production for 9 weeks.
What the heck?
So, like a 3 month turnaround.
Oh my gosh, that's so fast.
That's insane.
That's
Um,
crazy.
oh, it was not a necklace, it was a bracelet because I have a movie fact about it.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
bracelet that Samuel gives Bird was actually worth $15,000 at the time.
What?
So they were sitting here trying to scrap up some cash from Mama's bills. They could have just pawned
Sell the
her
bracelet.
bracelet.
Yeah, sell the bracelet. Whew, $15,000.
Yes.
Jeez.
The pictures at the end of the opening credits are pictures from George Tillman's, the director's
Mm.
family, and some of them
Oh,
included him as a child with his mother.
that's cute.
Vanessa Williams, who plays Teri, was
Mm.
working on the film Hoodlum at the same time as this film, and since both films were being filmed in Chicago, she worked on both films on different days.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
Dang. She's like, I am booked and busy.
I mean, it was only 36 days she had to film two
I know,
movies,
but
but
still,
still,
like alternating two different movies at the
two
same
different
time?
characters, two different
Dude,
scripts,
that's
insanity.
insane.
That's a hard-working woman.
Yeah, good for her.
Um, are you ready for my favorite movie fact, Kelly?
Yes.
Vanessa Williams's iconic "The family fucked my husband" scene was improvised.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
everyone's like quiet reaction after she said that was genuine.
It's real. Yes.
Love her for that.
Yes.
Love her
Yeah,
for
good
that.
for her. I love that for you.
Yes, 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 yes. Also, this is a little me movie fact.
Mm.
In the In this movie, Vanessa Williams plays Teri. In the show, another actress named Vanessa Williams
Yes. Yeah.
plays
Plays her.
Bird, I think.
Oh, was it?
I
Let me
think
check for you.
she doesn't play Teri. I know that.
Okay.
I think she plays Bird. I think she plays Bird.
Melinda Williams
So Maxine?
for Bird. Maxine is played Vanessa Estelle
Okay, so
Williams.
she plays Maxine.
Yes.
Either way, there's a Vanessa Williams in each
Yes. Either
project.
way, yes.
Okay, Kelly, it's time for the question. Is this movie iconic?
I'm gonna say yes. It's iconic.
I also said yes. It's iconic for two reasons and two reasons alone. It's iconic for Terry yelling out that Faye fucked her husband in front of the entire
Yes.
family and the music.
Yes. I was gonna say like number one would be the music for me. You have good music in your film. You are like immediately iconic to me. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
you get me
Yeah.
with the music.
Yeah.
Also, you
music,
got me kind of with the drama. I do like
drama.
some tea.
This movie is very a lot of drama. A lot of drama.
Yes. Yes.
Oh goodness, yes. Love this movie. I also agree. Iconic. Iconic.
Very iconic.
Iconic. Um, do I feel like there was some stuff that slipped through the cracks that needed to be addressed? Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. But you know
Yes.
what? They only filmed for 36 days. They did not
Yeah.
have enough time to fill in those cracks, obviously. So, yeah, great movie. Iconic. Iconic. Okay, Kelly. What are your recommendations for this week?
Okay, I have got two recommendations. They're both songs. The first one is Bloom by Matilda Mann. And the second one is Erase Me by Lizzie McAlpine. I hope I'm saying that right. And Jacob Collier. Is that how you say his last name? I'm not
Sure.
sure. Both. Well, Bloom is a bop, and Erase Me is kind of like a sad bop.
Okay.
So two bops, two different vibes.
Sounds good to me. I love good music. My first recommendation is the Soul Food soundtrack, obviously.
Yes.
Listen to it.
Second that.
Great
Second
song.
that.
It's my third favorite movie soundtrack.
Really?
Yes.
Love
First
that.
one, The Bodyguard, of course. Of course.
Ah, yeah.
Second one is Waiting to Excel, and then it's this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The only reason that this movie came in third is because Waiting to Excel has sitting up in my room. I mean,
Yeah.
can't beat Brandy.
No.
So yeah, my second recommendation is Excess by Rina Sawayama. Great song,
Mm.
really fun, great message.
Great message.
The music video is low key insanity.
Is it?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hilarious. But yeah, that's it for me. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
This was probably the most dramatic movie. Actually, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. But this was a
It
very
is a very
dramatic
dramatic
movie,
movie.
a very messy movie.
Mm.
So yeah, don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a Twitter
Yes.
for however long Twitter exists,
Yeah.
and an Instagram. They're both at SY2YI Podcast. You can send us your movie requests. Starting next week, it's Christmas time. You can send us some Christmas movies.
Woohoo!
Um, you can also send us some movie stories. Were you in this movie, like a background actor? Is there anything that didn't make it into the movie that we should know about?
Right. So, which day of the 36 days were you on set?
Yeah. Was Vanessa Williams constantly bringing like the wrong scripts?
Were you also like Vanessa Williams and had to be split between two films because you were an
Yeah, yeah.
extra for both?
Were you an extra on two films?
Right.
What was that like? Let us know at our email, sytyiipodcast@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to
Hmm.
us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Also, everyone have a great holiday. Have a good Thanksgiving
Yes.
if you live in America.
Yep. Be
If you
safe.
be safe.
If you're not in America, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Hope it's great for you.
I hope you still watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day for parade, even if you don't live in America. It's still a fun
Right.
time.
It is.
But yeah, everyone be safe, have a good Thanksgiving, and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.